Hi. We're tired.
Super tired.
Like sometimes. Do we review the movie first or the audience?
Holy shit. F-. That's my grade.
Worst audience of the year.
Ugh. I was kicked in the head twice.
I got soda sprayed on me at one point.
What?
Yeah.
What was they? Were they like laughing about? And they like sprayed soda?
The way that it kind of flickered, I think maybe they took their straw out of their drink and it just kind of flicked off a little bit. We were at this is a free screening we were at for Sing.
A month early. Thank God. We got in on the train early.
We still get to see trailers for it for another month.
Ugh.
So Sing has like a partnership going on with AMC, which is why it's cartoonishly advertised here, like to the point to where it's like this close to being like in Futurama where they just beamed advertisements into your head. Like that's, I mean, Illumination has annoying advertising anyway, but this was like borderline just like propaganda.
That's my main problem with them. That's because like it's kind of like the movies succeed despite themselves. I mean, it's not that the advertising doesn't work because, I mean, obviously kids are going to go see it and, like, they're going to make their money back and, you know, people don't usually go to the movies as much as you do or the kids' movies like me, but it's still, like, I hate them because of the advertising, even though the movies are not bad. I wanted to hate this one. It was better than the trailers made it seem even. And the trailer wasn't bad, it's just obnoxiously shown so much. But
they were putting posters for it on other posters on top of actual posters of Sing. There was a Sing advertisement in Secret Life of Pets. The trailer for Sing said from the creators of Secret Life of Pets before Secret Life of Pets even comes out. This movie has the rabbit masks with the rabbits from Secret Life of Pets. Like, these movies they're fine to mediocre, but my God, will someone fucking humble their fucking asses.
Yes. And the Minions I can't stand. They just have them plastered all over their stuff.
That I can't say much about because I didn't see that movie.
The short that we watched was enough for me. They were in
you don't want that for 80 minutes?
Yeah, and then they're in the fucking logo for the Illuminate. Yeah, like just fuck off. Fuck off, Minions.
Well, the kids in the audience liked it.
Of course. So, they laughed at all the obnoxious stuff, but there wasn't a lot of it. I feel like the movie would be a lot more solid, their movies, if they cut out the obligation kids movie bullshit that all of these things
like
have.
The fart humor.
The fucking fart joke. Can we talk about that fart joke for a minute here? Alright, there's a part in the movie, if you've seen the trailers for it, it's basically like, it's a singing competition, kind of like American Idol with animals. They have a part during the auditions where he's eliminating who are going to be the final contestants. And then he's like, I don't know, he's talking to this ox or something, or a bull or something, and he starts farting just for the purpose of kids will laugh at farts. Like, he's got nervous farts, I guess.
Yeah.
He steps on the snail, which I thought was dead until he showed up at the end. I was like, did he kill him? And just runs off farting, and the characters react like the audience, like, what? Like, what just happened? Why did he just run off farting?
Because kids movie. And that was, I think, the worst joke in it. By far, that was the worst joke in the movie. The most disappointing joke is that I got a chuckle when in the audition sequence there was a character singing Ben, but it wasn't a rat singing it.
Yeah, like, missed opportunity.
You guys really dropped the ball on that.
Come on, guys.
So this was, there's only, I think, 200 theaters that were showing this free screening of it. So we got here pretty early to get in line, and I don't think there was a lot of people there. I don't know about 200, but there was a lot of people there. And
it didn't fill up the theater, but it was pretty busy, especially because it's just kids running around everywhere. It felt claustrophobic.
Fuck me. And plus they had like Russian bodyguards guarding the entrance of this movie.
What's going on? And
I'm not even kidding with that, by the way.
2 or 3 warnings of like, turn yourself cell phones
Turn your
off.
cell phones off.
This is only one of only 2 places in Illinois showing this movie.
Yeah, like it was like.
And then in the card at the beginning said like, oh, and here's the filter for your phone or whatever, and like.
Yeah, like I'm like, is that why this movie's advertised so much? Is Illumination in like debt to the Russian mob? Like, okay, well now that kind of makes sense. Like he's like, please turn cell phone off.
Yeah, I was like, does he work here? Or who is
No,
this guy?
it looked like it was someone who was with the movie, I guess, because they were in like suits and like not just like the men Russian bodyguards, but like the lady too was like in like Men in Black when one of them's a woman and they're still wearing like a suit. Like this is bizarre.
Like, once or twice they came back in the theater while the movie was going, just standing there watching the audience.
Laugh, ladies and gentlemen, laugh. In Soviet Russia, movie bootlegs you. Like, what does that mean? And then, like, that was funny. Like, that was... Does that happen often at free screenings? Because I know a lot of people who also do this. Like, Chris Stuckman goes to the free screenings all the time. I'm like, does this often happen? Like, and, he also had a video where he talks about how audiences are annoying at free screenings because it's free, so they just go in and do whatever. And, like, you know, we see pre-screenings of stuff, but you still have to pay to get in when we go see it on Thursday nights. But this is the first time... I don't know if this is the first time I've been to a free one, but it's if I have, it's been a long time. But God, this fucking audience, fuck me.
There was a lady trying to, like, I don't know, start up like a riot or something. Like when we were waiting
in line outside.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if this was in earnest or she was just trying to kind of like rally the troops.
Like,
you know,
they said be here at 9. We here at 9. Our kids are cold.
There's our kids here. Come on, guys. And then when like no one's responding, like she keeps trying to make it happen. It's like, all right, just calm your ass down.
Yeah, calm down, lady. Put a coat on your kid. Shut the fuck up. There was a kid behind me who was kicking my seat through it, and I'm like, I know how this movie's gonna end. It's gonna end with me punching a baby. Like, I turn around like, oh, sorry, Dave. What are you doing here?
This movie is terrible.
Why are you here? We have an excuse. You're not even reviewing this.
It was free, okay?
Yeah, fine, Dave.
I have a baby. My baby was cold.
Well, then go inside your house. You don't need to go to the movie theater. Like,
my baby was waiting here at 9 a.m. and they didn't open the doors.
Sorry, Dave. I mean, you have a car. Like, I don't know. Like, so when the kid kept kicking my seat, I turned around a few times, and then the kid would stop for like a second, and then he would keep going, and then finally I turn around. I'm just like, excuse me? And the lady's like, sorry. And then I know what she did afterwards. She just put the kid in the seat right next to her, so he started kicking the seat next to me. And so I could still feel it. I'm like...
Yeah, I could feel it all the way down where I was.
Yeah.
But I could tell when you said something because it stopped.
Yeah.
And I knew it was really fucking annoying if you actually said something.
Yeah. Yeah, usually I can get through it if like there's some people like making noise and shit, but kicking my seat, it's like, no, I don't like that on a plane. I'm sure as shit not gonna like it when I'm watching a movie about singing animals.
There was a lady behind me who just had to say oh no to everything.
Was that the lady who was singing through every song?
She might have sung sometimes too, but I noticed the most when she's like, oh no, what's going on? Oh no, something going to go wrong. Even when something wasn't going wrong, it'd be like, and more audience is coming into the show. And she'd be like, oh no. I'm like, no, that's good. Mm-hmm. That's good that they're getting an audience. That's the point.
Yeah.
Okay, what? Oh no.
Oh no, and theater's falling down. And the lady who was like a couple seats away from me, when the kid moved to the next seat and was kicking the seat, me and that lady just kept looking at each other like, who gets to kill this kid? Me or you? It's going to be one of us. It'll be surprising if you do it. I look like I'm about to kill a kid in a theater. And so that lady turned around and looked too. And once that lady turned around and looked, I didn't hear any kicking through the rest of the movie.
Maybe they were like, forget that guy. Oh no, this lady. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Mm-hmm. That other lady was a lot bigger than me.
There was like constantly like people walking across and milling around to do stuff. Like they got to take out their kid to change their diaper or something, or kids running in and they got to go get their
It's like, you know what? It's like with the babies and stuff. Like, you know what else is free? Staying home. God,
Yeah, I know one of them was crying at one point.
that was me.
Yeah. When's this movie gonna end?
The movie, like, I feel similar about this that I do with like Secret Life of Pets, where it's like if you just isolate the movie itself, it's fine. The animation is great, honestly.
The
like,
texture and the animation was all beautiful. Like it looked great.
yeah. But like Secret Life of Pets, I'm constantly comparing it to a better movie. In the case of Secret Life of Pets, it's like it's Toy Story again, and Toy Story is a better movie. This movie, I honestly don't know how fair that is to this movie, because both movies were probably in production around the same time, but I was just constantly thinking about how much better Zootopia is than this.
Well, like Zootopia, I didn't see, but plot-wise, I don't think it was as similar because it's just animals. But
Plot-wise, no.
plot-wise, it reminded me a lot of Cats Don't Dance,
Oh, well, yeah.
including the big water finale where they're all
Yeah.
like riding a wave, almost drowned.
Yeah.
It was very similar to that.
I can see that. Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen that movie. But and in fact, I don't even know if I saw it all the way through. I think it was just something that was just kind of on a lot, so I sort of saw chunks of it.
Well, because I mean, Cats Don't Dance is more like old Hollywood kind of stuff, like Shirley
Yeah.
Temple and old musicals and things like that. So that's kind of where the similarities end, is like the singing thing. But this is more like American Idol or things like that,
No,
which from the trailers it seemed really dated to me. But they kind of acknowledge that in the movie, that this is sort of a
Briefly.
dated thing, and then it becomes sort of a different thing than just American Idol type thing.
Pretty much, like, in terms of why I was thinking a lot about Zootopia, it was like this movie feels like it's a lesser story in that universe, so I was constantly comparing it for other reasons besides just the plot. Like, well, Zootopia had a much better plot than this, but in Zootopia, you really got a good look at how this world worked, and with all the different animals and how they function in this society. You got to see, like, here's where bigger animals are, here's where, like, rodents are, and it was really interesting seeing that. And also, even the plot itself, that movie wouldn't exist if they weren't all animals in it. And this, it was kind of like, it's a normal world, they all just happen to be animals, and honestly, there's really no reason they're animals in this movie. This same script could exist if they were people. And I know there's a lot of animated movies you could say that about, and I'm probably just thinking about that here because I'm thinking about Zootopia, where it really made all that stuff work. Here, it's like, there's no reason they're animals, really. They just kind of are, because it's an animated movie.
Yeah, I mean, they care less about the mechanics of it and all, which is fine with me. But I guess there was some stuff, because there were some things where I'm wondering, like, how does this work with, like, all these different kinds of animals coexisting? They had stuff like, there'd be steps, but there was also water in the middle, and there's, like, fish hopping up and down. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
it's accessible, even to those who don't have legs, you know?
There were
So,
little things like that
little
here
things,
and there.
but it
Like
wasn't too concerned with that.
the mouse's car, that were really high up, and it had like a tiny wheel on it. I mean, there were little things here and there, but the movie itself, it was like, yeah, there's like one line in the movie where it was John C. Reilly, right? It was
The sheep?
The sheep,
Yeah,
where he
that
was
was
like, a singing competition that's been done. It's like
He
one.
was honestly my favorite character, was the lazy sheep friend.
Mine was Seth MacFarlane. The laughs I got out of this movie were all from him. Like, I was like, this doesn't need to be an ensemble. I would really just like to see like this movie about Mike the Crooner Mouse.
He was kind of like Surly Squirrel, only he
Kinda.
had no real conclusion.
He drives away from the bears that want to eat him, and he doesn't come back at the end. I'm like, he's just off with his girlfriend. Maybe they made it to Mexico or something.
Maybe they made it, maybe they died.
Or
I
maybe
think
they died. Like, I liked him. I liked his character. He kind of exists in like a 1920s universe. Like, the laughs I got were because I thought he was a genuinely funny character. Like, he would just kind of show up randomly at some points when someone was practicing and be like, "Do you mind? I'm trying to rehearse in here," and slam the door. And he would hustle people out of money and like cheat at cards. Like, I enjoyed him. Like, I liked his world and his stuff. The other things in it, the movie honestly just kind of felt like it's just doing a singing competition. None of it really, other than the fact that they're animals, none of it really felt like satire. It felt like it's just a movie about a singing competition.
Yeah, no,
and
it
it's
wasn't
fine.
satire.
Yeah.
It was, you know what it was? They were just like, what do kids like? They like having songs in the movies because they always have song and dance, and they're like, let's just make a movie entirely about that.
And that's what it was.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it was. But they picked good songs, so I liked the songs.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like it was long. I was tired, but it didn't really feel like a long movie.
Yeah, no, it's like I would have been this tired regardless of what we were seeing because it's early in the morning.
Yeah.
The songs were perfectly fine. I mean, when it got to the actual competition at the end, I was like, okay, I know the rest of the 20 minutes of this movie are going to be each one of them doing a song. I picked one point to go use the restroom, and when I got back, the same person was still singing. Like, okay, I don't think I missed anything. I at least wanted to see Crooner Mouse singing, and that part was great.
Yeah, he had a good time there. That was a good moment.
And some parts that I laughed at were parts where I'm like, I don't think I should have been laughing at that. Like the really heavy drama. It didn't feel like satire.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah. It felt like, okay, you see this part in the preview where the gorilla's dad, who's a thief, who honestly should have been voiced by Jason Statham, but wasn't. And the dad's like in jail and he's like, "What did I do to deserve a son like you?
A singer!
A singer!" Like, if it was satire, he would have been like, "I have no son," and ripped off his shirt or something.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't intended to be funny.
No, it wasn't
I can
at
tell
all.
It wasn't intended to be funny. But you know what? It's less funny in context. It's still funny, but like it makes more sense in context than just the trailer. Because it wasn't just that he left him behind to be a singer.
Yeah.
It's that he was his getaway driver, went to
Yeah.
the competition, and he went to jail.
He did fuck
for an
him.
indeterminate amount of time.
Yeah.
He could be there for a long time
Yeah.
because of this. So,
He did fuck him. He did fuck him pretty bad.
and it felt like they kind of brushed over some things in the plot, so it felt really light. So there were some things that it feels like you miss something. Like after they find out, there's this mix-up about how much the prize money is. It's only $1,000, but there's a typo and they think it's $100,000. Then it's revealed that it's just a chest full of junk and they
Yeah.
don't have it, and then they all almost die.
Yeah.
And the koala's off feeling sorry for himself, and it has this montage of all of them and everything they lost, including almost their lives.
It's playing You Gotta Carry That Weight.
Yeah.
Again, a dramatic part like the gorilla part where I
Yeah.
was kind of trying not to laugh, even though I really wasn't supposed to be.
Yeah, it's supposed to be the super dramatic thing.
Yeah.
Everyone lost something. It says the whole place collapsed. And then they all show up and they're like, what are we going to do about the competition?
Yeah.
Like, when did we miss the scene where they forgave him?
I was
Or
thinking
he
that
had a
too.
redemption arc or something?
Yeah, I was thinking that too. I'm like, you're really kind of brushing this aside a little bit. Like, I'd kind of be like, fuck that dude.
There should have been some attempt from him to try and make things up to people or something.
And
It
he
never
really-
really feel like that happened.
No, yeah, not really. He's just kind of a jerk to him a little bit when they show up at his house to check on him. And then, he's like, well, I guess I could be happy now. Let's rebuild the theater out of rubble. And they do the thing where there is no winner of this competition. Because they're all winners. At the end, they're singing just for them.
Well, you knew
Sure.
that they wouldn't.
Well, we talked about that before the movie started.
Yeah, we were
We're
like,
we're-
I thought they were all going to sing a song together, which they didn't. Which the ending seemed really abrupt too, because I was waiting for like, what happens after they open it? Are they going to do like a song together? But then it just
Yeah.
freezes and then it ends.
Yeah. it just ended. And my thing about I was never sitting there. Okay, well, I was annoyed, but it was because of the audience. It wasn't really because of the movie. But I was never sitting there really hating what I was watching. I was never mad. I was never really annoyed. I didn't laugh that much, and when I did laugh, it really kind of was just the mouse. I did genuinely like that character.
I laughed at the car washing scene a little bit, like, because the sheep, that was a funny punchline with the sheep, where he's like, you wash, I'll dry, and that was kind of funny.
Yeah, I might have gotten a chuckle out of that. But more often than not, I kind of just didn't care, really. I was like, it's not that I dislike any of these characters. It's not like I'm wishing bad things are going to happen to them, but I don't care, really. Like, it's...
If it didn't have the songs, and you just look at the story-wise, I probably wouldn't have cared as much, just because I like music. So the music kind of carries it, but if it didn't have those things... It would be like, all right, whatever.
And I was kind of like, all right, whatever about the movie. It just kind of was what it was. It was a movie about a singing competition, so you have characters like the dude who comes from a rough background, you have the housewife, you have the shy one whose arc is just at the beginning she's shy, at the end she's not.
Yeah, like a lot of these are like kind of like tropes that you see on a lot of reality competitions, which are annoying as fuck, where they just have a story for them, like, he's got a bad background, but he's a surprisingly good singer. Oh, the mom who thinks it's her last chance, but then she can belt it out.
Yeah.
So they have a lot of those same things, but
they do.
I guess by removing the competition element, it makes it less obnoxious than reality TV.
Yeah, it's less obnoxious than reality TV in that at least it's a movie and not reality TV.
Yeah.
But it just kind of feels like it's just doing those tropes. It doesn't feel like it's spoofing them. It doesn't feel like it's really adding any level of satire, or really any satire at all. The only thing it does, it just is... they're animals, and that's it. It's like, the housewife, she's a pig and has like 100 kids. Like, okay, that's kind of the joke there. Whatever. I don't really care. It's not... I mean, the movie's not bad. The movie it's fine. If you like this kind of movie, you'll get more out of it than me, honestly. Like,
I think, like, if you enjoy 3D animated movies, or you're looking for something, like, for your kids to watch, like, I think they'd enjoy it just fine.
Yeah, honestly, like, in terms of, like, if you're taking your family to go see this, fine. I mean, I would say that it's probably worth, like, a matinee screening or something like that, largely because there are so much worse movies you could take your kids to. Like, The Wildlife, Norm of the North... other shit you and I have gone to see.
I mean, there's very minimal stupid kids bullshit in it. It's mostly just like, if you want to hear some singing and like you like songs, singing makes you feel good. That's basically what it is. It's very like, there's not too much to it, honestly.
The worst part about this movie is the fact that this is the first movie you and I have seen in the theater together. So as a couple, this is our movie now.
Amazing.
Don't worry, I'll get us some posters. I'm sure they have. Never forget. I'm sure they have plenty. They'll have plenty of posters left over. Better this than like, well, baby, I guess our movie is Boss Baby.
You'll always have Sing.
We will always have Sing. Man.
If you compare Sing to Secret Life of Pets, what's the better movie?
God. You know what makes me angrier about Secret Life of Pets is not so much the movie, it's the fact of how many, like, records it broke at the box office for something that is just wildly mediocre and not original in the slightest. The movie's not bad. The movie's unoriginal as fuck. It's just a ripoff of Toy Story. It's not a bad ripoff of Toy Story, but that's what it is. It's a ripoff of Toy Story, and it, like, fucking set records at the box office. That made me more mad at that movie than the movie itself. I don't know how well this is gonna do at the box office. It'll probably do perfectly fine, but right now I'm less mad at this movie.
Well, this one has obnoxious advertising, but I think it's doing it in more condensed spaces. Like, in a theater, it makes sense. Secret Life of Pets was like PetSmart plastered with decals and shit. Where I'm like, can you just fuck off for a moment, please. I'm just so done with Illuminate. They piss me off. I don't want to like their movies. I feel bad giving good reviews to them. Because the movie is perfectly serviceable. Mm-hmm. There was stuff I liked about it. There was stuff I laughed about it. But fuck off, Illuminate.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just so sick of their advertising.
I agree with
hubris.
you. That's what you said. Yeah, exactly. Like, that was the quote to take away from the Secret Life of Pets review, which was like, someone needs to teach them a little thing called hubris. And it's like, I know that's not a new thing that a movie gets heavily advertised. My God, it happens all the time. It does. There's just something more cynical and brainwashy and egomaniacal about them.
It's unnecessary because it feels like their movies would still stand on their own doing that because they don't make bad movies.
Yeah.
So it's like, you don't have to be like shoving it in your face all the time. Like, people will come see it and it will do well.
You can have a little bit of faith in your movie. Like, you can. And, you know, if this movie also does outstanding, like Secret Life of Pets, I'm sure whatever their next movie is going to be even more heavily advertised. Man, that's another thing that made me mad about Secret Life of Pets, is that Storks was a million times better movie in every sense of the word. And Secret Life of Pets made, I think, like $200+ million more than Storks did. Again, that made me more mad at what was honestly just a mediocre movie.
I guess it must be their advertising works.
I guess it fucking works.
Happens.
I guess it just fucking works, and I'm the asshole. Because I'm at the theater like 3 times a week, so I see the shit all the goddamn I see the advertising all the goddamn time. Any final thoughts about it? I don't think there's much else left about the movie. It's a pretty straightforward film.
Yeah, I mean, they have funny characters. The animation's really well done.
The animation is spectacular.
They got great songs, so I mean, I feel like if you like the trailer or you like animated movies, it's probably worth seeing. If
you're sold on the trailer, you'll like the movie. You are. If you're annoyed by the trailer and you see it, again, I don't think you're going to think it's one of the worst movies of the year.
I think it was better than the trailer made it seem, but the trailer's not necessarily, it doesn't misrepresent it or anything.
Not at all. No, the trailer's not, I wish we got trailers in front of this, so we got that Cars 3 teaser that looks like
everything's gonna change.
Fucking what the fuck? It's like Zack Snyder took over directing for it? There's no way that whole movie has that tone. I mean, I hope it did. If it did? Holy shit. Then, fuck, it's who would have thought the best Pixar movie of all time? Cars 3? Cars with a Vengeance?
You know, Sing was disappointing in that it was not hilariously bad.
Yeah.
It was serviceable.
Yeah.
I want to bitch them out.
Uh-huh.
You know,
yes.
If it could be Cars 3 trailer level hilarious, then we're talking.
Exactly. Or if they could put something out that's advertised just as heavily at this, and we go see it, and it's like fucking Grizzly and the Lemmings or some shit.
Grizzly and the Lemmings.
Grizzly, there's just too many lemmings.
Well, I can tell you one thing. Grizzly and the Lemmings is going to be a far better product than
Oh,
Sing.
yeah. You can already tell by the animation. Far superior.
They're so stupid, but there's so many of them.
This is a real thing. Go on YouTube and look up the trailer for Grizzly and the Lemmings.
It's a spin-off of Norm of the North, guys.
Because they want to make those lemmings happen. It's not going to happen. The lemmings are not going to fucking happen.
Okay, I guess say what you will about Illuminate and their fucking minions. They could be lemmings level bad.
Yeah.
Which I guess is more entertaining. In a train wrecking sort of way.
God damn, it's the most cynical fucking thing.
But that's hilarious because they're failures in every regard. Like, minions and shit, they're so cynical, but they're successful and it makes you mad. Lemmings, they're cynical and just failures.
Yeah. Did you notice that in the trailer for Grizzly and the Lemmings are like light blue, and in Norm of the North they were like brown? Because that was my problem with it. They weren't a bright enough color.
Yeah, because they gotta make them more minion-like, you know? Just make them a little more alien-like.
Fuck off, lemmings. All right, I don't know what. I know what the next midnight screenings is going to be. It's going to be me and Brian talking about the new Gilmore Girls. As for theatrical, I don't know. I don't know what comes out next week.
Grizzly and the Lemmings.
I hope to God that comes to theaters here. I don't think it will.
No.
See ya.
Bye.